Right. So then for the benefit of the recording, obviously, you will only need to use a light weight today. Lots of the exercises we're doing are body weight only. A little bit of a high intensity session, so you might find that you're a bit more out of breath than normal, but hopefully it shouldn't be too challenging for you in the coming days. You shouldn't ache too much. So starting on your back, but with a bridge this time. I want you to lie on your back, arms outstretched. Let's get this going. Push your hips up, but not too high, and then really take time to roll your back down to the floor. So you're pushing your hips up, and then using the lowering down to the floor to really mobilize your spine. So roll your back down. Take your time doing that phase of this. You're not worrying too much about how high you push up your hips. This is all about mobilizing your spine down to the floor. So it is for a good minute. Some timing devices going. Keep it going. 15 more seconds. Good, last couple. And then stay on your back, one leg crossed over the other. So I've got the outside of my foot just across my knee. And I'm going to roll this leg from side to side. Arms out to the side just to stabilize you. And if you're able to, the leg that you've got crossed over, try and push that knee away from your body, just using your own strength. And you may find you get a little bit of a kind of pull in your hips. If your hips are tight, you might really feel that. If that hurts your knees, then just release it a little bit. So because it's the first bit of mobility we're doing, I'm not rolling my knees all the way to the floor. I'm limiting my movement just a little bit. And then change sides. So cross the other leg over, push that knee away if you can, and then roll from side to side. If your hips or lower back are quite tight, you may find that your range of movement's a little bit limited. Well done. 10 more seconds. Good. Just do one more roll to each side and then roll onto your side. So to lie on your side, legs drawn up. So I've got my heels kind of in line with my bottom. Head, if you've got something you can rest your head on that's handy, grab it, otherwise it doesn't matter. And then just roll your top arm over. Looking at your hand as you go. If looking at your hand makes you feel a little bit dizzy, you can just keep looking straight ahead. So when you're doing this exercise, if you find that your top hip is really rolling back and you can't control it, just drop your top leg over. Good, just do one more and then change sides. Good. Roll over, other side. And again, if you want to, you can drop your top leg over. That will just help to anchor your hips in place. Keep going. And just do one more. And then roll onto your front. So we're going to be resting on our knees for the next one. If this hurts your knees, Aideen, if resting on your knees is uncomfortable, grab a cushion. So getting a bit more padding underneath your knees might help. So half plank. So on your knees, bum push forward. And then you're just going to do little reaching movement. Lynn, if that's uncomfortable for your shoulders, take that to an all fours and do it in that position. So just a bit of work to get your core engaged. Try to pull your tummy back in towards your spine. As you're lifting your arm, you'll feel that you'll rock a little bit from side to side. So just think about bracing yourself against that rock. Try not to move too much. One more to each side. And then bring your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Brace your core before you start moving. So pull your tummy up to your spine, and you're just going to extend one leg and then tuck and extend. So just bring your knee into your chest and then straightening your leg out behind you. Try not to let your heel come up too high. You don't want to make your back arch. So your heel should finish at about bum height. And after about 30 seconds, you might feel that the leg that you're resting on is the one that starts to burn. Let's do 2 more. And then change legs. I think I'm a bit close to my window. That's better. I don't want to kick my patio doors in, that'd be bad. So again, after about 30 seconds, you'll hopefully feel that the leg you're resting on starts to kind of burn a little bit in your glute, starts to wake up. And keep your core braced, so keep your tummy pulled up to your spine. Just do 1 more. And then you're going to push up into pike and do some knee dips. So pushing your heels down to the ground, bending the other leg. And if your ankles and calves are a bit tight, slowly work on improving this range of movement. So try and get your heels to the ground as you go. And then from there, just walk yourself up to stand nice and slowly. You can head down for a while, so get up slowly. Well done. And we're going to do alternate leg hip rotation. So hands on your hips if it helps you. Bring your knee up and around. So I shall be looking furiously at the floor in front of me, because if I look at you guys, I shall wobble. So as you're doing this, just try and get your knee as high as you can as you bring your leg around. Hopefully there's not too much clunking going on. Oh. And then go the other way. Again, alternate leg. Well done. Keep your core braced. Okay, 2, 1, and done. Then hip hikes. So stand with your feet quite close together, both legs completely straight. Again, you can have your hands on your hips and just pull one leg up. Make this movement as slow in each direction as you can. So you're pulling up slowly, lowering down completely under control. And hopefully you can start to feel it waking up in the side of your bum on the leg that you're standing on. Well done. I always love watching people do this. It's kind of, you look a little bit mad doing this exercise. They're sort of gently rocking from side to side. Good, and then change sides. Yeah, so that's the leg that wants to wake up immediately. Straight away. While you're doing these, think about keeping your core braced, keep your tummy pulled into your spine all the time. 10 more seconds. Okay, just 1 more. And then stand with your feet slightly wider apart, about hip width apart. No weight for this, just do a floor touch and press. So reach down towards the floor and then stretch up really high. Tap the floor between your feet, so kind of between your toes. Hopefully you can feel a bit of a stretch in your hamstrings as you bend forward. And then as you reach up really high, a little bit across your hip flexors into your tummy. Good. And keep it slow, just mobilising everything as you stand up tall. 5 more seconds. Good. And then we're going to do a standing thoracic rotation. So you're standing with your feet, again, hip width apart. You've got your elbow and hand across your knees, other hand down to the floor, and then rotate around, looking at your hand as you go. If watching your hand makes you feel dizzy, keep looking at the floor. Keep going. That's it, well done. One more. And then change sides. So elbow and hand across your knee. And then rotate. Well done. Again, if looking at your hand makes you feel dizzy, just look straight down the floor. Do one more. Good, stand up slowly. And then we're going to finish this mobility set with some deep squats. So if you've got something you can hang on to, that will help you. Knees might be interesting. So if you don't fancy doing this, just go back for some more hip hinges. So do hip hinges rather than the deep squat. But if you can do it, it's useful to hang on to something. I'm just going to hang on to the edge of my filing cabinet. So get down into as deep a squat as you can, keeping your heels on the floor, keeping your chest really high. And if you're hanging on to something, you can really focus on getting your chest up. If you don't need to hang on to something, even better. So when I do these, I just get my elbows into my knees a little bit, just push my knees apart. Think about what your ankles are doing. So if you can feel that your feet maybe are collapsing inwards a little bit, try and rotate your ankles outwards. Chest nice and high. Well done. And then just put your hands towards the floor, slowly come up to stand. Was that all right for your knee? No, don't do it. So, Aideen, no squats today. Missed them out completely. I'll give you alternatives for everything that's squatting. Any lunging movements, I've got alternatives anyway. All right. Right, first set. So we're doing 2 high intensity workouts. First one is 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. So the first exercise, the side lunge press. I'm not going to give all of them to you at once because you don't need to know them all. You might remember them. So the first round, I'll demonstrate and then we'll go. So if we get a little bit less time working, that's fine. The first exercise is a side lunge with a press. So you don't have to use a weight for the pressing movement, but if you've got something light, you can, but that is really optional. You can just do it body weight. I'm just going to use 2 kilos, very, very light. So side lunge and press. So you lunge out to the side, back to the middle, and then push your weight or your hands straight out in front of you. You don't have to hold anything. You can just do a pressing movement. So it's 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. Off you go. As we go through the sets of these, there's things you can do to make them more difficult, to increase the intensity. But this first set, just keep it nice and low if you want to. So not lunging too far out to the side. This should be all right for knees. Lateral movement's usually okay, yeah. And you've got your gin bottle. Do you know what? I have still got that water bottle somewhere. I never got rid of it. It's in a cupboard somewhere. I need to break it out. It's so good. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then rest. So the next one, bent knee walkout. Try them, it might be all right, because the way you're moving your legs, you might be okay. So just bending down, going into a little bear crawl, and then standing up. So when you stand back up again, try and push your weight into your heels as much as you can, and that will get the backs of your legs working and take the pressure off your knees. Off you go. So you're walking out into a little half bear crawl, and then stand up. And as you stand up, so as you get to the point that your heels are getting to the ground, really push your heels down and stand up, driving up to your heels. That will keep it more into your posterior. It'll stop your kneecaps from moving laterally. It'll help to protect them. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, good, rest. The next one is a walking lunge, but toe taps. So you can do a full walking lunge if you want to. That is not in any way knee friendly. So I would say just do that little walking lunge with a toe tap. That is absolutely fine to do if your knee's dodgy, because all your weight is behind your legs. As long as your kneecap is not going in front of your ankle, then it won't hurt. So keep your weight back as you lunge. Off you go. So a little toe tap. Push your bum back. Yeah, perfect, well done. Keep going, that is fine. Good. 10 seconds. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. And the last one, a little bit of a squat. So you're going to do a little half jump squat and then land like that and do some palm punches. So instead of doing it with a jump squat, you can just stand with a split stance like that. Just do palm hits and then do that instead of the squat, okay? So it's a little jump squat and then palm hits, but the knee-friendly version is just to stand in a split stance, do that palm hit, and just keep stepping. Right, off you go. So if you can do the little jump squat, don't lower down too far. So just jumping up, landing, doing a little jump squat. Keep going. I'm just gonna get my blankets out for the dog. Hang on a sec. Hello. Hello. How could I forget? Dog blankets. He's very old and creaky. He needs blankets to lie on. Good, I'm done. Right, rest. 45 seconds rest. So as we go, I wish you could see my dog. He's now curled up on blankets I've just laid down for him with all his toys around him as well. Bless. So as we go through these sets now, you can increase your range of movement and speed them up a little bit if you want to make them more challenging. So it's up to you. Kind of done one steady set to get used to the exercises. If you want to pick up the pace, use even heavier weights for things, then that's how you can make them more challenging. So we're going to start again in 15 seconds. Side lunge press. So you'll get your heart rate up by speeding this up, lunging out to the side more. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, off you go. It's like I've got a little guard of honour outside these patio doors. They're both lying there staring at me. Well done. Keep going. If you start to use a heavier weight for this as well, when you press your arms out in front of you, make sure you're bracing your core. Well done, good. 3, 2, 1, done, good. Next one, bent leg walkouts. So we limited the movement quite a lot for that first set. You're only going out into kind of a half bear crawl. So if you want to make it more challenging, just walk out a little bit further. Test your core a bit. 3, 2, 1, off you go. It's really important when you're doing these, particularly if we're doing quite a few sets of these, to not push off on the same arm each time. Particularly if your shoulders are a bit iffy. So Lynn, if this hurts your shoulder, just let me know. Is it a bit dodgy? If it is, just hold. If it's uncomfortable, just hold a straight arm plank. Lose the walkout version, hold a plank. You can keep your shoulders stable, so do that instead. 15 seconds. You can even hold a bear crawl if you really wanted to. No. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, done. Good. 15 seconds rest. Layers are coming off. Love it. All right, get ready. So it's walking lunges. You've got the options then of doing a full walking lunge, getting your knee to the floor, or sticking with that light toe tap movement. Off you go. Good, well done. Keep going. So if you're doing, well, either type of walking lunge, make sure you stand up tall. Really get to full extension when you stand up. Get your hip flexors working. 10 seconds. Three, two, one, and rest. Well done. And this last one for this set then, half squat, palm. I've written it really badly on my whiteboard. Squat jump. That's better. So little jump. When you land, hold that and do 4 big pushes. Off you go. Well done. So over the sets, the way you can make this more challenging is to hold a lower squat or just try and jump a bit higher or do both. Well done. 15 seconds. Keep going. Three, two, one. Good. Rest. 45 seconds rest again. And then we're doing 2 more sets of these. Just realised I left my water down in the house. That wasn't very sensible. Have I? No, it's outside. Dogs aren't allowed. Right, 15 seconds. Ready. So back on to side lunge push. Heavier weight if you have it. Challenge yourself. Okay, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. It's good to see you in some gardens this morning. I need to get my setup sorted out. I can start doing my sessions out there when it's not quite warm enough for me yet, but soon. Keep going. Well done. Oh, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Weights down. So bent knee walkouts again, or hold a plank. So if you want to challenge yourself a bit more with a plank, you could do some little leg to side movements. So keep your arms still and just tap your legs to the side. Yeah, good. Off you go. What's your dog? What are your dogs doing? Fighting dogs in the corner to keep us all entertained. I love it. So if you are doing a walkout, make sure that you stand up really tall. So when you push yourself back up through your heels, stand up tall, hip flexors fully extended. Well done. And rest. Good. Walking lunges. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Lynn, your dogs are absolutely hilarious. I take it that's a common thing what they're doing at the moment then. Good, keep going, 15 seconds. Sadly, Woody is feeling a bit too ropey still at the moment for any of that. He's looking very old at the moment. 3, 2, 1, good. Jump, squat and push. So rest after this one if you want to challenge yourself. Bit of a high jump, land in a lower squat. That'll make it harder. 2, 1, go. So when you're doing the push, however you're standing, whether you're in a split stance or a squat, really go for a big push. Get your upper back working as much as possible. Fab, keep going. I need to lose a layer. Good. Keep it going, 10 seconds. Well done. 3, 2, 1, rest. 45 seconds rest. Then we've got one more round of those to go. So it's the last set. When we go on to the side lunge press, a bigger step out to the side will just help to get your heart up a little bit more, make it a bit harder. Do they have to stop? No. It's I'm sure it's not lovely for you, but it's lovely to watch. It's very entertaining. All right, get ready. 5 seconds. Side lunge press. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So if you're using a heavier weight, think about really bracing your core as you push that weight out in front of you. And if you're getting a bit tired now, try not to hunch your shoulders. It's really easy doing this sort of exercise to hunch your shoulders as you press out. Keep them low. Try and keep your upper back working as much as you can. 15 seconds. Well done. Three, 2, 1, done. Bent knee walkouts, or if you need to, straight arm plank, just doing a little tap out to the side. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, off you go. If you're doing the bent leg walkout, when you stand up, really stand up tall. Brace your core as you stand up. That's good, well done. Suddenly gone from being chilly in here to being too hot. Keep going. Well done. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Walking lunge with a toe tap, or just normal walking lunges, depending on which one you want to do. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Good. So if you are doing a full walking lunge, getting your knees to the floor, really think about pushing off through your heel. Get as much of your bum working as possible. The more you can drive up through your heel, you get the back of your legs working more. Keep going. $15 seconds. Well done. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then rest. Good. And the last exercise for this set, jump squat. 5 seconds. We've got a longer rest after this. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Big palm hit, really push. Keep going. Use your arms as well, so fling your arms up as you jump. Get some momentum. 15 seconds. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, guys. Okay, have a rest, have a drink. Set 2. Again, it's 4 exercises. This time, 30 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. So they're not so much work time, they are slightly higher intensity. So the first one is a squat press or ground to overhead. So squat press, obviously I can't go to full height because the old ceiling. You're holding a weight to your chest, drop down into a squat, drive up, arms high above your head. If you don't want a squat press, then you can do a ground to overhead instead. So that's down towards the floor, drive, push up above your head. That is your knee-friendly option. So either squat press or ground to overhead. Next one, alternate leg extensions. So it's kind of like a very quick dead bug. So onto your back, head up in your hands, and then quickly extend your legs. If for any reason your core's not going to be happy about that, then you can go for an arms only dead bug instead. There we've got just some big leaps from side to side, touching the floor, jumping. You can leap if you want to. And the last one, narrow arm press up to pike. And Lynn, when we get to that one, I'll give you an alternative. So narrow arm press up, so like that. You do 1 press up, and then push up into pike. Drop to your knees, press up. So you're moving between the two, like that. I can give you a shoulder safe alternative when we get to it though. All right, I'll remind you what the exercises are. Before we get to each one, you haven't got to remember all of them. 30 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. Quick blow by nose. Let's reset the stopwatch. 4 rounds again, and you get about 45 seconds rest in between each round. So starting off with squat press or ground to overhead. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Well done. So if you're in any way worried about knees, go for the ground to overhead. Let's get the backs of your legs working more. Protect your knee joints. 10 seconds. So these are shorter intervals. You can work a bit harder, try and get your heart rate up more. 3, 2, 1. Onto your back. Bring your head up into your hands. That will just help to keep your back anchored into the floor. 2, 1, go. So if this rest period feels a little bit too much for any reason, by all means, you can start work as soon as you get to the next exercise. So I'm doing this more quickly than I would do a normal dead bug. But try and keep your back pushed down to the floor all the time. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Up you get. Either leap or jump from side to side. If you're not happy about doing a jump, then you can leap, but you're just moving from side to side. 3, 2, 1, off you go. That's it. I think I said floor touch when I was demonstrating it. I didn't mean that. There's no floor touch for this one. I made that up. Well done. 5 seconds. 2, 1, good. And then the narrow arm press up to pike. So, hands in front of your shoulders, knees on the floor. You're going to drop into a narrow arm press up as low as you can, and then straight away push up into a pike. So knees to the floor, press. So Lynn, I'd probably say that's going to be a bit uncomfortable. Just go for a kneeling overhead press. So get either your weights or a band and do that movement instead. I think there's far too much movement through the shoulder joint for that one for you. That's good though, well done. 5 seconds. And rest. 45 seconds rest. And we're back onto the squat press. Let me see my hair. I have my fringe cut too short. Can't keep it cut pulling back now. All right, 5 more seconds rest. So I wouldn't drink too much in between these sets because there's a bit of jumping around. Don't you feeling sick? Little sips of water is all you need. 15 seconds. So squat press or ground to overhead, get your weight ready. All right, almost there. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Good to get outside and actually be able to press something above my head properly. The ceiling is covered in little black marks from my dumbbells and my kettlebells when I forget. Keep going. Well done. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, onto your back. Get ready, start straight away if you want to. 3, 2, 1, and go. So I'm doing this with my toes flexed, but you can just point your toes if you want to. So keeping your head up in your hands will help to keep your back on the floor, but you have to keep working to push your back down. So as you extend your leg, push your tummy down towards the floor. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. Up you get, leaping from side to side. So if you had a go at leaping first time, try jumping this time. Really use your arms to help yourself. So as you jump, swing your arms up, get some momentum going. 2, 1, go. Jumping from side to side with both feet together. It's actually very hard mentally. It's a good skill to master. And each time you jump from side to side, just think about pulling up your pelvic floor a little bit. That will help keep your core engaged. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. And then narrow arm press up to pike. Or, if that's dodgy for shoulders, kneeling overhead press. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So again, for this one, keep your core braced. By that I mean pulling it up towards your spine. This is upper body and core, this exercise. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 45 seconds rest. 2 sets down, 2 to go. How's the heart rate? Up a bit? Mine's doing pretty well. So you should find you're puffing more doing these in the first set. Well done. So we've got another 20 seconds rest, then we're on again. Squat press. So if you have any heavier weights at your disposal, you can increase your weights for these if you want to make it more challenging. Right, 10 seconds. Get ready. Squat press, all ground to overhead. 3, 2, 1. Round 3, go. Well done. I need to make all of my classes really upper body focused. I've got my first Lido swim on Saturday. Could be exciting. My arms might give up after 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1, and rest onto your back. Okay, 5 seconds. Head up in your hands. Brace your core before you start moving. 2, 1, go. Oh God. Okay, we're back. GoPro just had a bit of a moment there. Right, okay. Hopefully you can still hear me all right. I don't like it when my GoPro starts to beep at me, it makes me scared. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Well done, up you get. Side to side. Get ready, 2, 1, go. So if you're feeling more competent doing these jumps now, just try and get a little bit higher. Jump further out to the side. Jumping is such an important thing for us to do. Balance and coordination, core strength, bone density, joint strength. Hi, Mocha. What's that all about? She's just sort of let herself in there. There we go. And rest. No, not for dogs. Out you go. Thank you. She learned how to open the door a while ago. Okay. Narrow arm press to pike or kneeling overhead press. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So we've got one more set after this. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Up you get. 45 seconds rest. One more set to go. Doing really well. How's everyone feeling? Good? Good sweat on this morning, I hope. Right, okay. So we've got another 20 seconds. Hopefully you can see and hear me all right. My video's gone a bit out of sync. Hopefully it hasn't gone out of sync with my voice. All right, good. It's weird for me to look at it. All right, 5 seconds. Squat press or ground to overhead. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Last one of each of these exercises, so really go for it if you've got the energy. When you're doing these squats, drive up through your heels. Keep your bum working as much as you can. Take the pressure off those knees. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Onto your back. Head in your hands. Start whenever you're ready. Or 3, 2, 1, off you go. Keep thinking about your core. Extend your leg, push it back down. 15 seconds. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Up you get. Side to side leaps. Get ready. Last set of these. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Big jump from side to side. Really get those arms working to help you. Pull up your pelvic floor. Brace your core as you jump as well. Let that help you too. This sort of thing is really good for running, off-road running particularly, because it'll help keep your hip flexors strong. You can keep your knees high, fewer trips and falls. One more, and then narrow arm press to pike, or overhead press if you need to. 5 seconds, get into position. 3, 2, 1, off you go. "15 seconds. Keep going, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Done. How are you doing for time? Perfect. We have one last little workout to go through once we've had a rest. Get your heart rate down a bit. So we've got one final 6-minute workout to go through. And this one, I'm afraid, involves you counting your own reps a little bit. So I'll show you what you're doing while you rest. 3 exercises: deadlift jumps, plank, torso rotations. So your deadlift jump is tapping the floor and then jumping. So tapping the floor between your feet and jumping out. That's completely knee friendly because you're getting your weight, pushing your weight back and then jumping from there. So you're using your bum to help you. Then plank on your elbows, 10 seconds. So you need to count to 10, nice and slowly. And then a torso rotation, using a weight ideally as well. I might regret this one, it's a bit heavy. So heels down, toes up, shoulders down, core braced, 20 rotations from side to side. And if you want to make it harder, feet up. So it's 10 deadlift jumps, 10-second plank, 20 torso rotations, and you're cycling through at your own pace for 6 minutes. And then we're done. So take your time. This is working at your own pace. You have to count your own reps, but it's all in tens. We can do that. All right, get ready. So 10 deadlift jumps to begin with, then 10 seconds of plank, proper 10 seconds as well. 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, and then 20 torso rotations. All right, get ready. Deadlift jumps, 3, 2, 1, off you go. There's been a fair bit of jumping. If your legs are getting tired, don't worry, just limit how high you're jumping. So as soon as you've done 10 of those, straight down into plank, on your elbows. Make sure your shoulders are directly over your elbow joints, hands apart. Keep your bum tucked under, core braced. Just count to 10 slowly. We cannot do. And then 20 torso rotations. Start when you're ready. So if you're using a weight, look at the weight as you rotate from side to side. And if you lose count, don't worry. As long as it's approximate. And as soon as you've done that, it's back up to deadlift jumps again. And keep going, so keep cycling through these. Obviously, the faster you work, the more out of breath you'll be. It's entirely up to you how challenging you want to make this. Be strict about counting this plank though. If you've got a watch going, use it, actually time yourself. 10 seconds always seems to last a really long time in this position though. Good, and then once the plank is done, torso rotations. Well done. 2.5 minutes done already, look. We're whizzing through. Nearly halfway. So make sure you keep your core braced again doing these jumps. As you move into the jump, just draw up your pelvic floor slightly. Keep it active. It's a good thing to practice when you're jumping. It makes it more natural when you're running. You don't have to think about it so much. So time yourself if you can, or just count to 10 slowly. Keep an eye on your form though, so I don't want your hands together. You want shoulders, elbows, and hands all in a line. Back to your torso rotations. Whew. So as we go through these sets now, we are well over halfway. So one thing you can do is you can bring your feet off the ground, do your torso rotations with your legs up. It just makes everything a bit nastier. Well done. Keep cycling through. Remember, the faster you work, the harder it'll be. So if you want to make it less difficult, just slow down a bit. Well done. Less than 2 minutes to go. Well done. Good, keep it going. So try and challenge yourself now to get to the torso rotations. Get your feet up if you can. Amazing. Just over a minute left. Not long. Keep it going. Well done. Keep the heart rate pushed up. Good, well done. 45 seconds remaining. Keep it going, well done. We're stretching after this. Keep going. 20 seconds. So whatever exercise you finish up on, finish those reps. So when I say time's up and you've done 2 deadlift jumps, just finish the 10. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Finish your exercise. Well done. Good work. As soon as you finish the exercise you're on, you can stop. As soon as you're done, up you get, grab a drink. Well done. Yay, well done. Good work. Right, now you can have a decent drink. Well done. Hopefully you're all nicely puffed out now as well. All right, so we're going to start stretching, standing up, and then move down to the ground, just to get your heart rate down slowly. So just keep your feet moving. First thing to do, bring your elbow up, and just push your hand down between your shoulder blades. Just don't stand completely still, just keep sort of pacing around on the spot, and think about your tummy. So core brace, don't let your back arch doing this. And then change sides. That's it, well done. Just keep those feet moving. Do you even need to bother walking your dogs, Lynn? Because it looks like they entertain themselves. And then just take one arm across. Gently push across, bit of a stretch into your shoulder. And then change sides. Well done. And then after this, you're just going to move gently down into a child pose. 3, 2, 1, and done. Down you get. So if child pose is uncomfortable with your arms up, Lynn, just do it with your arms by your side. So deep breaths. Just letting your bum drop onto your heels. Yes, yeah. That didn't sound right when I said it. A nice deep breaths. Good, and then from there, up onto your knees, one leg forward, tuck your bum under, and then just push forward. Well done. Good. And take that foot out to the side a little bit, and then put both hands on the floor, and just push into that stretch a bit more. If you can as well, the elbow or shoulder you've got into the inside of your knee, just try and push that leg out to the side a little bit. And then change sides. So foot forward first of all, tuck your bum under, push forward. Good. And then put that foot to the side, put your hands down, push into that stretch. Oh, blimey. I've got one extremely tight hip. Well done. And then release and move into glute stretch. So I want you to do it sitting down, this one. So both legs out in front of you. Just take one leg across, really pull that leg around, keeping your chest up, drop your shoulders. Well done. Hold for a few more seconds. And then just twist around, looking over your shoulder if you can. And then change sides, so other leg wrapped around. Chest up, drop your shoulders, don't hunch. Well done. And then twist round. Good, and then release. And finish off with a quad stretch. So you can do it kneeling or you can do it standing. If your knees are a bit iffy, standing is probably more comfortable than kneeling on them. But however you're doing it, just make sure that your back isn't arched, so bum tucked under as much as possible. Good, and then release, change sides. Good, and then release and stand up nice and slowly. When you're up, just slowly roll down, legs as straight as you can. And let your head drop down. And then bend your knees and stand up really slowly and stretch up to sky. And you're all done. Well done this morning. I hope everyone's knees and shoulders are all right.
Thank you.
See you later. Well done. AD, what colour are your nails?
Oh, they're minty green.
Oh, I like that. Show me. Oh, that's nice.
I know.
I like that. That's lovely. Is that gel?
Yeah.
That is lovely.
First week. Yeah, they're still but they're about 2 weeks done now. So yeah.
That's really good.
Very summary.
Colour idea.
Yes.
Take care.
Yeah, do you know?
See you soon.
Is there one thing else I can do with my knee? It's the inside of my knee.
Okay. Let me just stop recording everything.
Oh.